You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network. This phrase that we have come to hear time and time again because of a certain branch of the military kind of coined this statement, be all you can be. And that is our beloved U.S. Army. And I feel like a big part of the reason that that phrase stands out for many people, even if they've never joined the military, is that it is really designed to make you feel like you can be anything that you desire to be for yourself. And that it is your goal, your own personal space and time that creates that moment, that makes it even possible. That is something that clicks in your mind that has an agreement with self and says that I'm going to be all that I can be. And it's almost like this level of commitment. And I believe that that's probably a big reason why the military, the Army specifically, made it become its slogan, its motto, because it's a transformative space that occurs because everybody becomes a part of the military the same way. They all join and enlist, and they go through training and boot camp and a rigorous amount of tests and skills, and not everybody makes it though. That's the funny thing about it. Not everybody makes it, but those who step into those positions and they lock in and they commit to what they desire to be are the ones that make it through and become a part of the unit, right? Or become a part of the whole. And I think that in our lives is very a similar walk, that we are all aiming to be all that we can be. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Only those who are really committed to that walk will see those types of things come into fruition in their lives. And so I find it beneficial today that we'll make this statement be our discussion for the day. Y'all know what time it is. It's Monday, and it's time for Sonny's Monday Motivation. Let's go. Welcome to Loudmouth Radio Network. My name is Sonny. As a former professional athlete turned entrepreneur realtor and the producer of Loudmouth Radio Network, I look forward to bringing content to you that empowers, inspires, and entertains you. Tune in each week as we have unscripted and unfiltered talks from entrepreneurship, real estate, politics, entertainment, comedy, LGBTQ topics, day-to-day life, and everything in between. All shows available on demand 24/7 on your favorite podcast platforms. Center, Temecula Valley areas, and throughout the Inland Empire. Are you looking to become a homeowner in 2024? Register today for the New Home in the New Year seminar hosted by Sold by Sonny. Let's get you from rental to homeowner in the new year. Get the latest insight of down payment assistance programs, whether you purchased a home before or purchasing for the first time. We want to make sure you're provided with the necessary information needed for you to buy your new home in 2024. Look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, I'm Hector Calvillo of J&H Automotive, located at 611 West Florida Avenue in Hemet, California. We are a full-service automotive repair shop where you can always expect to receive the highest quality repairs, fairest pricing, best customer service in the industry. My brother George and I grew up watching our dad work on classic cars as a backyard mechanic. His hard work ethic and dedication led us to opening up J&H Automotive in 2009. We started out with a 500 square foot repair shop, and we have consistently grown over the past 15 years to our new 10,000 square foot repair facility in the heart of Hemet. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Call 951-766-5999 to set an appointment for all your automotive service needs.
Hello, My name is Takasha Smith. I'm the owner of Takasha's Kitchen, based out of Menifee in the Southern California area. As a chef and caterer, I provide private cooking classes, couples dinners, and private parties. As a female pitmaster, I am able to create a personalized experience for your family reunion gatherings. I create menus based on my clients' needs to have a more personal vibe. You can find Takasha's Kitchen on all social media networks such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and my YouTube channel at Takasha's Kitchen. And that's spelled TACASHAS Kitchen, KITCHEN.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network. Ironically enough, the military had this slogan, "Be all that you can be," for a very, very long time. And they went through a rebranding probably about 17, 18 years ago. And they've kind of readapted that statement to be an Army strong, right? I think what is amazing, if you think about watching war movies or seeing anything that gives you an idea what military training looks like, I feel like for many people, they look at it like, man, I could never do that, and I couldn't enlist, I couldn't commit. Trust me, I've been there. But I also have been on the other side of this life thing. And there have been times that we have made probably even bigger obstacles than going through a boot camp in a military situation. Sometimes we can get in our own way. Sometimes we can make our own hardships. We can create our own stumbling blocks because we're mentally not focused in on what we desire. We could say that we want things. We can even write it down. We can tell other people. We can make our vision boards. But how many of us are actually locking in and implementing the things that's necessary in order for us to see the things that we truly desire? I'm not questioning you whether or not you're doing it, because this may not be a conversation that you've leveled up to or even feel that is conducive to where you are. Only you know that. But for those who I am speaking to, who is tired of not getting to where they want to be, who is not seeing the things that they desire for themselves, I'm probably having more of a direct conversation in relevance to you. And to those who are achieving what you have set out to do, what you have designed your life patterns to look like, I commend you. And I think it's important that those who are in those spaces continue to keep walking in that walk. And hopefully the steps of the things that you're accomplishing is a positive influence on those around you. Because trust me, our society can't get enough of positivity right now. There's such a level of strife when it comes to integrity and the systematic aspect of how we treat each other. Our humanity is at stake right now. There's no secret that right now in the news, in the social media world, in the culture of society, entertainment, the heavy amounts of conversation concerning Sean Combs, aka Diddy, and so many other people that are in the industry that may be wrapped around this situation. And I think that for many of us who are encountering and seeing this in real time, especially if you've been around these particular characters and know of them over the lifespan of their careers building, like myself. I was a early college student when Diddy and Uptown Records and all those things started to get momentum. And I can remember a lot of things being said back in the day. And of course, if you weren't necessarily in the know, you didn't know if it was rumor mill or if it had any sensibility. You can only speculate, right? But at the end of the day, I think that the most common person understands that sex trafficking is wrong. that abuse is not good, that compromising yourself can eventually cause you to have some bigger issues. So I think that as we are observing these things that are playing out in real time, we also have to observe ourselves. We have to take that mirror and look back at ourselves and say, what can I do better about being in this time and space? What can I be better to another person? And I'm not saying that you need to set out your day every day thinking about what somebody else needs. But I do feel like the more that you work on yourself and you strengthen all aspects of yourself, that those people around you will levitate, or they may even look at you from a distance and they can appreciate your walk. I know for me, I may not always talk to individuals that I know on a day-to-day basis, on a month-to-month basis, on a week-to-week basis. Hell, we may not even see each other for years. But I just hope to think that I hold myself in enough regard as an individual to do and be the best person that I can be. And those who do know me or have had the opportunity to connect to me, that they can have some level of appreciation of how I move. And I know for me, when I have friends or associates who are telling me some things that are going on with them and there are things in their lives that are increasing and improving, I'm celebrating them. I'm so excited for their accomplishments. I'm so excited that they get to see what they desire for themselves, because at the end of the day, those accomplishments, those things, their finances, their revenues in their business, their reputations, their alignments, their connections are a direct aspect of their own evolution and their own growth. And so it's not for me to supersede or intercede, right? I can only support it or not. And I choose to be grateful that I can have the ability to make a considerable thought of someone that I have connection to that is achieving their dreams and goals. It makes me feel even better about pursuing my own, and it gives me a gumption of a feeling of like, wow, this is cool that, I'm moving forward. I'm doing things that I set out to do. Some of my people that I admire or have of love for or appreciation for are growing in their own steps. And I think that that's the outlook that society can have as a whole, which is a healthy outlook. Unfortunately, we are living in the human condition, and there are a lot of different energies and things at play that challenges that, from egos to sometimes our own personal demons or feelings that are not necessarily making us feel like we're adequate. And when we're not necessarily happy or feeling adequate about ourselves, we start looking out of our own lens at other people sideways, or we may have something not so nice to say, or we're not even happy for their success. And that's not healthy. That's not what we're here for. To be honest with you, I think that the more you're locking in on yourself, the more that you're working on yourself, it's hard to look to the left, to the right, to the north, to the south. It's hard to look behind you when you're looking ahead of you, when you're working to move and grow and keep climbing, and you're busy looking and focused on what you got in front of you. I don't know about you guys, but these days, there's times I feel absolutely exhausted. And I'll say, God, I can remember I used to pull an all-nighter. I used to be able to just go at this, and this. And you know what? There's this thing, there's aging. There's levels of responsibility of things that are on top of what you're working on. There are things that may be pulling at you, and you have to subdivide your attention and time. If you have someone in your life that maybe, whether it's a child, a parent, a loved one, a spouse, a significant other, they're going to want you to compartment your time. If you're working a job, if you're working your business along with something else, or if you're doing multiple things in your business, you're compartmented. And so because the natural way and element of how we exist compartments our lives, when you do focus on you, you got to lock in real strong so that you can be all that you can be. There's so much that is out here for us to accomplish, to see, to witness, to have an admiration for. If we're all leveling ourselves up, if we're all focused on the better part of who we are, not so necessarily paying attention to what the person next to you isn't, but making sure that you are upright and walking in the purpose in which is going to help your own growth. Now, I'm not saying that it's just kind of, it's a natural thing to, to see or hear things. If you're driving on a highway and there's an accident on the other side of the road, there's going to be a tendency that traffic's going to slow down and people are going to look. It's just a natural thing that happens. I'm not saying you don't look, you don't read, because you know what? Sometimes I have my moments. I go on social media and it's all over social media. So you almost can't help but see it. And the more you traction into it, you know that it's going to come popping into your timeline and it's going to show itself on posts and reels and tags and stuff like that. It's still a principle of consideration of your time and your attention. Don't allow so many things to pull you so far that you can't stay on task and on focus what you know you need to do. Guys, when I tell you a lot of times when I'm talking to you guys, I'm also talking to me, and I hear myself. And it helps me give me another level of accountability just because I'm saying it, just because I'm sharing it, and I'm hearing myself say it. And so for me, it also gives me a check because I'm not looking to be a hypocrite and tell you what's something I won't do. There's this thing that, you don't want to just be the person that speaks at people, but you want to be the person that can take the action and show people, even if they're not aware, that you have the capability to lead them into a better space versus talking at them. And I mean that from all comparisons of walks of life. It could be your children, it could be co-workers, it could be friends. We all have the capability to lead. I know that everybody does not necessarily want to take on a leadership role, but you have to lead in your own life. So even in your own retrospect, you have to give yourself the respect, the self-esteem, the belief factor. There's a whole lot that is layered when it comes to ourselves. And I think if we really, really, really looked at ourselves honestly, it'll be a whole lot harder to spend a lot of time talking about other people. It would be a whole lot harder time diagnosing certain things. Now, it depends on the level of your relationship. I'm not saying that you can't have intimacy of spaces with people and recognize certain things, because if you spend time with a lot of different people or spending time with somebody specifically, you are going to understand certain things about them. I'm not saying that, but just don't allow yourself to be washed out because you're so focused on that other person. Trust me, I'm speaking from my own experience. And I say that because you'll look up, and sometimes you look up and recognize that, wow, wait a minute, I have lost a part of me that I didn't even recognize was drifting away. So it's important that we check in with ourselves. And I think that that's what ultimately prayer and meditation is about, is quieting the noise around you. It's about getting silent and getting still and tuning into yourself. And man, I tell you, just telling you all that makes me reiterate my own thoughts about me and taking more time for me to do just what I said to you. When it comes down to bigger changes in your life, I think that there's this other thing that's happening. As you're moving upward, there's other things around you that are compiling. A lot of times when you're taking levels of higher achievement, there's more responsibility that comes with it, that's counteracting with you. And so it's just as important that you're in tune with yourself so that you know how to handle everything else on the outside of you. I don't want us to be lacking that understanding, because it could be in all shapes and forms, right? And sometimes it's important to quiet the noise. Sometimes it's important to just shut your eyes, be still, and say nothing. Not think about anything, not wonder anything. Just complete silence. And when we can master that part, we're already elevating an internal part of ourselves that is hungry. It's so funny. Do you know a lot of times when you're doing something and you know that you have things on your list or your things that you need to do, and they'll come in your thoughts and they'll just keep coming back. And that pestering moment of thought, of your own thoughts, it's like that with that part of us within is almost that accountability speaking to us about the things that we know that we need to do. Even if it's not a task, sometimes we just know that we should act better, we should sleep better, we should eat better, we should exercise more, we should do this, we should minimize that. A lot of that voice is that all internal compass that's already designed to give us what we need. But if we're not listening in and we're not tuned into it, man, listen, guys, this is where sickness and stress and so many other things start compiling. God, this is amazing. I'm just hearing myself saying this, but it is amazing how much we have the ability to change the throttle, to turn it up or turn it down, or tune it up or tune it down. And in order for us to be better at it, we have to be conscientious of it and know that we have the power to do it. Isn't that amazing? Guys, I'm done with this. I just wanted to tell you that I feel wholeheartedly that at a time like now, where there's so much chaoticness and things that are happening in the cultural sense of our framework around us, I know we're heading into a political change, a change of guard with our politician voting less than a month away. I know that we are looking at the downfall of people that we have probably have had a certain nature of thought for a very long time. That was this type of person, and we're being exposed to the reveal of so many other things. So guys, when I tell you, I think this is just as important time to lock in and silence so much of the noise, because it's like opening the door to your front door on a busy street, and you hear everything, but then you shut the door and it gets quiet. Like that. Right? So guys, I'm really just praying for all of us to have a space and time that we are giving ourselves, and that we are focused on our next level of living. And if we do that, I think we're a healthier society. We're dealing with so much cancer and so much toxicities, and there's so much death prevalating at all age groups. And guys, there's a lot of people that are hurting because they're not in touch with themselves. They've forgotten something about the amazing things that God has created us to be. And they've maybe fallen into some substance or type of turmoil. And so I just want us to remember how important it is to stay connected to oneself and not to be competing by those you see around you, because the only competition that exists is within you, with you. Everything else is secondary, almost sometimes illusionary. So I just want to make sure that we're doing the things necessary that keeps us in our better parts of ourselves, and we're not falling short. Y'all have a blessed day. You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network. What up, everybody? This is Sonny, your loudmouth of comedy. I got something to share with you guys. You listening? Check it out. Sonny's Loudmouth Comedy Presents is coming to what? Shooters Bar and Grill of Temecula. We're doing comedy and karaoke every third Wednesday live comedy event, right? We're doing open mic, feature comics, and we're topping it off with karaoke. Now, this is the best part. I need you to get your tickets. We're doing advanced tickets and table reservations. We're not doing anything at the door, which means you need to get your tickets. And you need to go to where? Loudmouthcomedy.com. That's LOUDDMOUTH, loudmouthcomedy.com, all together. Get your tickets. Tell the homies. You can get you some reservations for tables, seating. Also, listen, if you are a comic, or maybe you do spoken word, or you might sing or something like that, you want to take part in the open mic, I need you to go to loudmouthcomedy.com and get your opportunity to get registered and signed up for the open mic. It's limited spaces. Don't let me tell you I didn't tell you ahead of advance. Now you got to do this in advance, right? And you need to be registered well in advance, okay? So you need to go to loudmouthcomedy.com. Uncontrollable laughter, great food, drinks, and a comfortable atmosphere. I can't wait to see you.